Hello and good afternoon and welcome to another exciting edition of Girl TV. I'm Kandice and with us today we have Nancy, who's the creator and founder of New Moon Magazine, and Posie, who's a teen editor for the magazine, and Marie is with us today as well.
So we're very excited. We have a full house. So all four of us will be chatting about New Moon Magazine, which is a great publication, but I'm going to let Nancy do the honor and start by talking about the mission of New Moon. But first, welcome to the show.
Yeah. Well, our mission, we were founded 19 years ago, actually, by me and my daughters, who are now all grown up. But our purpose is to have a community online and in the magazine where girls create and share their own media. This is writing, artwork, videos. They chat together, they help each other with problems, and write feature articles, do all kinds of different things. And so it's a place where girls can tell the world who they are instead of media telling them who they ought to be.
Nancy, can you talk about some of the hurdles you may have faced when the magazine first started?
Well, when the magazine first started, our main hurdle was we didn't know anything about publishing a magazine. We had to learn everything from scratch. In fact, when I talked with my daughters, Mavis and Mia, who were 11 then, about this idea to start a magazine by girls with a girls' editorial board and girls making the decisions, they said, well, what do you mean start a magazine? We don't know how to do that, and neither do you. And we didn't. So we learned. We learned a lot. And financing was also a challenge, but we decided as a family that we wanted to invest some money in this idea and see how it worked, which it worked great. People were really looking for a change of pace in media for teenage girls and tween girls. We serve girls ages 8 to 14, so we cross over that age from late elementary to middle school to early high school.
Nancy, can you talk about how's your magazine been received by the public?
Well, after 19 years.
It's been received very well. And one thing I want to clarify is we're not just a magazine anymore. We started as a magazine, and we're a magazine for many years, just a magazine. Now we are New Moon Girls, which is both the magazine and a social network for girls, where they share all their creative things online. So it's been received very well. People find out about us through word of mouth. We don't have a big marketing budget or advertising budget of any kind. And people hear about us through things like this interview or other people sharing with them through Facebook, through Google+, just by telling their friends about it. Parents share it with each other because for the age of girls that we are working with, parents are usually the ones who buy the membership.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great that you use social media, and that's one of the ways I think I sort of keep in touch with between the issues, because you do have a Facebook page, and I think we connected with both the Girls Project and Girl TV, so we can know what you're working on, if there's any fun contests going on. So it's a great way to always stay connected without just relying on the print copy.
Yep, exactly.
So
we can, the great thing about the web is you have unlimited amount of space. In a print publication, you only have so many pages.
Right. So we know we have Posie on the line. So I appreciate the fact that you made sure that we do have a teen editor. It's very similar to Girl TV, where we make sure that there's always a teen present, because the magazine is about girls. So it would be kind of odd not to have a young woman also be part of the interview. So we're excited to have Posie to talk about her role at New Moon Magazine and how she got involved. So you want to talk a little bit about that, Posie?
Yeah, definitely. I found out about New Moon through a homeschooling friend when I was 9, and I was completely drawn to it because it was like nothing that I had ever seen before. And it was all about being yourself and being confident, and everything that makes you, you is special and what makes you unique. And also, it's also important because it tells girls that they can do anything that boys can do. And often in the media, that isn't something that's manifested very much. So
At New Moon, girls make their own media in a fun, safe, ad-free space.
When I was 12, and I was ecstatic when I got on.
So that's great. And we were talking about sort of how big your team, your editorial, I don't know if it's a board or how many teen editors you have.
Well, we just accepted 11 new members a month ago, and so now we have around 30 preteen and teen editors, girls working all around the world.
That's great. Do you want to say more about that, Nancy? How many teen editors that you do have, and how global the magazine has become through having so many teen editors and readers?
Well, one of the exciting things for us with all the growth that we've had using the internet in the past few years since we launched our own social network for girls, which is moderated and safe. It's totally different than Facebook, but it is that we have a lot of girl members from around the world. So now we have the opportunity to have girls from around the world on our editorial board as well, because all the work that the girls do on both the magazine and on the online, the social network, is done virtually. So we have a girl who lives in Wales who's on our editorial board now, a girl in Hong Kong, and a girl in Finland, in addition to girls in the U.S. and Canada.
Nancy, can you talk about how you brand your magazine and what makes it unique and how you're able to stay relevant within today's market?
Yeah. The way we brand it is actually exactly what Posie was talking about. We are the place where girls tell the world who they are instead of media telling them who to be. It's a place for girls to feel good about being themselves, to feel confident, to feel supported, because those years, those tween and teen years, are not necessarily very confidence building or supportive. Girls are going through face a lot of pressures. They are trying to figure out where their place in the world is, because there's a lot of different choices they can make. And what we're about is helping them stay connected to who they are inside, and then bring that into their decisions and into what they create in the world. And that's our brand. It's about girls expressing themselves, girls being themselves, and girls being listened to out in the world.
As a kid, did you wish you had something like New Moon for you?
Well, at the time, I don't think I even thought about it. But when my daughters were growing up, I could look as an adult and a mom, I could look at what was possible for them in the media, and I just didn't like it. It was all focused on how you look and what other people think of you. And that's really not the stuff that I wanted to give my daughters media like. There's enough of those messages coming at us all the time. And so I wanted them to have some place that would be different than that. That would be a place for them to be themselves. Not that, all girls don't have to be the same. In fact, and they're never going to be. But we don't really see that reflected much in popular media.
Yeah, I think even though New Moon has been around for 19 years now, you still have competition from other magazines. We won't say the names. We've been around for almost half a century, and they're still on the market, and teens are still reading them. What do you make of that? I can ask Posie that question. Do you read other magazines, or do you solely focus on a magazine like New Moon and not pay attention to the mainstream teen magazines that are still very popular, and you can find them in any libraries around the country?
I think that we mainly try to stay true to girls being true to themselves. So I think what makes New Moon special is that we actually always stay true to that message of being you and loving yourself unconditionally and being proud of yourself and being proud of every girl that you know and not being afraid of the world.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great message to have. And again, I think New Moon is probably going to remain relevant, whether it's in the US or elsewhere, because there are some issues that we still facing today. So one of the questions before the show started, we talked about is, you know, Women's History Month. And it just occurred to me that the fact that the magazine focused on girls all the time, technically you do celebrate women and girls year round. So you don't need necessarily a special month per se to really highlight the great things that girls are doing. What do you say, Nancy?
Well, yeah, I think it's very true that one thing that's important to talk about is how the messages in popular media are very much influenced by advertising, and that the way they pay the bills of that media is through advertising revenue. We don't have any ads in New Moon Girls. We are member-supported media, which is really quite different. So our responsibility and accountability is to our members, who are the girls, and to their parents, who are often paying the bill. And with traditional media, the responsibility really is to the advertisers, because that's where most of the money to pay the bills comes from. So it's one of the reasons we don't have, for instance, in every issue of our magazine, we don't have a makeup column. Not because we think there's anything wrong with makeup, but because there's plenty of that everywhere else. We don't need to focus on that. If girls want to get that information, they can get it somewhere else. We can focus on other stuff, like what girls are doing. What are the adventures that they're having? And in the 19 years we've been around, that has changed a little bit in mainstream media, but you still get situations all the time where there will be an article about healthy eating, and across the page is an ad for how to lose weight or how to wear clothing that makes you look skinny. I mean, it's just insane.
Yeah, I mean, I think those messages are still popular. I mean, I'm sure Kandice can talk about that. And I still see them. I mean, I knew about New Moon since I was a teen myself, which I won't date myself if you start doing the numbers. But I knew about the magazine partly because at the time I was looking for something, even though I was slightly older. But it was always nice that New Moon started before the teen years, because I think a lot of time it's great to have something to transition into the teen years versus something solely, let's say, for, 8 to 12, and then it stops.
Yeah.
And then you're like, what do I do now after all that positive messaging?
Yeah, those are really challenging times.
Yeah.
And girls are changing a lot inside themselves and in their emotions and their psychology and their thinking processes. And so it can be really feel like every day there's a new challenge in life, because it's a big, big growth time for kids, girls and boys both. So it's something where the support and the community, feeling like you're not all by yourself, that's one of the things we hear the most from girls that they really value about New Moon Girls, is feeling like other girls understand the same kinds of issues and problems that they're facing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's important. So let's talk, question is to Posie in terms of what you guys either have been working on recently and what's coming up, without telling us everything about the next issue. So what are some of the topics you're exploring now to be featured in the upcoming months that the teens would like to cover? Posie?
Sorry. Right now, we're in the middle of our Girl Talk campaign, actually, which is all about finding things in the media that disrespect or sexualize girls and women, and recognizing that, and the whole point is that it's caught by girls and girls standing up and saying, no, this isn't okay. And also, we have the good girl cop side, which is where you find things that actually respect girls and women and empower them. And so it's sort of teaching girls to say, no, this isn't okay. I don't want to buy this product or see this on a billboard or see this in an ad in a magazine. And also saying, wow, like I recognize that this makes me feel good and that this tells me that I'm beautiful the way I am. And so that's one of the main things that I'm really excited that we're doing in the next couple of months, in the past couple of months. And also, we're doing a lot of these She Heroes videos, which I know that Nancy can tell you about.
Oh, you have some videos that are going to be posted on the website, or just?
Well, we're actually we're doing a video contest for girls to send in videos about their She Heroes, either interviewing a woman who they admire and finding out how she became successful in what she does, or there is a group that we're working with on this called She Heroes, and their website is sheheroes.org, and you can go to their site and see the profiles they have there already about some interesting women and make a video saying what you learned from watching one of those videos or what you felt when you were watching one of those videos. The idea of this is our heroes are all around us in our lives. They're not just celebrities who are known the world over. And we need to look for our own she heroes where we are and among the people that we know.
Oh, that's great. So we have on our screen, you can see all the contest information, and then so it's only going to be about 3 minutes, right? That the video can be, which is very short.
Yes, the videos have to be short. They have to be 3-minute videos. It's not like making a feature film.
Right. Very short. That's like a shorter than a short film.
So it's not so we didn't want it to feel overwhelming.
Yes. Yeah, we've had those challenges before on Girl TV where we just do these very, almost like a little snapshot clips of issues or individuals. So this should be very exciting. And then you're going to decide, are you going to choose from the videos that you receive in terms of...
Yep, there's going to be a panel of girls and women who are going to select some winners from all the videos that are submitted in different age ranges. Okay. So that we don't have, an 8-year-old video in the same category as a 15-year-old video. And there will be all of these videos that get submitted, all of them are going to be featured on our YouTube channels, and then we're going to do special featuring of the winning videos in each age range, and special prizes for those filmmakers.
That's very exciting. So I'm glad that's being done, because I like the combination of really adding more digital media to the print version of the magazine and really using social media, because then, I know everyone is using all of them. It's not just one. And so they can sort of do like a multimedia sort of view of what girls think, expressing themselves using different form of media that we have. One question I actually had for Posie is thinking about what kind of skills do you think that you're learning or the other teen editors are gaining as members of the editorial team?
I think there are so many lessons that we've all been learning and continue to learn. Being such a huge part of such an important organization. One of the main things for me has been really connecting with girls and really learning about them. I know being one is weird. But I think also just talking about girls and really having to pick content on behalf of so many members and people, reading the magazine and keeping up on the website. I think that is really important, and I also, of course, just you know, writing and making videos and writing poems and things like that that are requirements, but are actually really fun and really valuable to learn about writing. Like, I mean, I wrote a poem about a march for women's right to vote. I mean, and I've never done anything like that before. And, you know, little things like that, too, are just extremely important and fun, too. So there's so many different skills that I feel like everybody has their own little set that they've been developing. And it's really such a great place, New Moon, to develop them.
As an editor, how do you decide what goes into the magazine? Are there anything like specific that you're looking for?
Well, when we brainstorm, we usually brainstorm for specific departments at specific times. So if we're on 1 week brainstorming for Ask a Girl, we look for things on the website that are good advice and questions that girls need answers to. And also, you know, we have fiction stories and poetry and articles. So most of the content that we brainstorm and look for is theme related. So, like our current issue is Wild About Animals. So when we were brainstorming for that issue, we really tried to look for things that had to do with animals and pets and even animal rights and things that were important to girls about animals. And then, you know, you can also come up with ideas for stories that haven't been written yet. So we'll come up with things that we want to see in that issue, and then if it really works, then we try to come up with a way to make it happen. And usually it's amazing seeing your idea formulate into something incredible and see it in print.
And how can girls become involved with the project?
Well, of course, just by going to the website and learning more about New Moon and subscribe, because it's really incredible to be on the website. I feel like I have so many sisters. I always have a friend on New Moon. And the website and the magazine is so much fun to get in the mail. And we accept GEB members every year, so you keep an eye out for that. We announce it on the website, and you can apply. And yeah, there's so many different ways you can volunteer. You can spread the word about New Moon, because like Nancy was saying, that's our main way of getting the word out about New Moon, since we don't advertise, is word of mouth. And that's the most important thing, is telling more girls about New Moon and having it touch so many girls' lives. And I feel like that's the most important thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's great. I already see like there's a little clip from a girl from Georgia about her favorite horses. So I think it's it's a nice way to sort of get people excited about what's coming up. And I think the video piece is really great. So one of the things I wanted to talk about is how to get more schools and libraries involved. I'm not sure if Kandice school even have New Moon at her school. So what are the ways that people can get New Moon into their library, whether it's a public library or anywhere? Because New Moon can be in anywhere, whether it's
Oh yeah, it can be. And we do have quite a few libraries who get the magazine, and soon we're going to have a digital version of the magazine available as an option too. And they can get it by going through the regular magazine subscription services that libraries use. We're listed with all of those services. They can also, if it's an organization that does not have the funds to buy a membership, we have a scholarship fund. And so all they need to do is go to our website, click on Contact Us, which is down at the bottom of the website, down at the bottom of every page on the website. There's a Contact Us link, and they can send an email saying we're a library or a school or an organization that would like to apply for a scholarship. And then we'll send back, it's a very simple form. It's not like a 10-page scholarship application, but, people donate the funds. Our members and other supporters donate the funds so that organizations can have scholarships. So
I think that's great, because I wouldn't want money to be a reason or an excuse for girls not to be exposed to all the positive messages that New Moon
Right.
has to
Yep.
offer.
We don't want that to be a barrier either.
Yeah. So I think that's great. So let's talk about, so if people want to get in touch, I know the website is the main one. What other ways, where else can they find you?
Do you guys have a
That's
Facebook or a Twitter?
We have a Facebook. Yeah, we have a Facebook page. You can just look us up under New Moon Girls. We have a Google Plus page. We have a YouTube account. These are all under New Moon Girls. We have a YouTube channel. We have a Twitter account. And we have a Pinterest account. So we're out there, a lot of places.
That's great.
Well, I'll be sure to look out for you guys.
So we're going to look for
Yeah.
all of them. So I want to thank you both for being on the show. We always wish we had more time, but I'm hoping we'll be able to get more short clips and videos from you guys that are happening. And then, of course, Facebook is a great way to do that. So thank you, Posie and Nancy, for being on the show.
Yeah. Thanks to both of you.